Da 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 da. All right, getting ready. All right, you ready? You are watching Political Point Magazine. Yes. Political Point Magazine. Where the right is right and the left, well, the left is always on the wrong side of history. Why? Because political minds want to know. With tonight, so enjoy a conservative point of view. And let's talk pea soup with tonight's top stories. Well, Obamacare falling apart once again. Another day, another delay. Get a load of this one. Okay. Could the Affordable Care Act spell the end of the Democratic Party? We will talk about that. And now, since Obamacare is such a disaster, the Democrats now are detracting the focus to, guess what? Climate change. But I don't think it's going to save their careers. And the Afghanistan President Hamid Karzai is stirring up trouble for the U.S. That's right. We will talk about that. And also, what's to be done about Obama's power grab? Okay, we will talk about that. Remember, Obama is trying to lead by executive fiat instead of going through Congress on everything. And now we will talk about that, and we will talk to you, the viewers, when we take it to the phones on this tonight with your humble host, William Mitro. Ah, yes, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I welcome you to another episode of Political Point Magazine, where we are here every Monday night, 7:30 and 11, and also it reruns Wednesday nights at 8 and Saturdays at 3. Okay. So, but anyhow, on to the top story of tonight. Okay. Obama appears to be suffering a lot lately. He just admitted another defeat, right? Okay. Last week we spoke a little bit about it, and it just goes to show you that Obama just is not okay. Let's talk about this. Okay, Obama's next Obamacare delay. Okay, guess what? He granted. Okay, we talked a little bit about this last week, but he granted businesses that have 50 to 90% to 50 to 90 employees. All right. He just granted another delay. He waived the healthcare mandate for them until 2016. Get this, all right? This is as if they're as if things couldn't be as good as they were supposed to be, okay? But as if the Democrats now. Okay, Obamacare, we know, is a total and complete disaster. All right, this is the worst piece of legislation ever passed, and and then the president is trying to change and rewrite his own law through executive fiat. All right, this another delay. All right, but let me show you how Rush Limbaugh put it. All right, yeah, get a load of this. Rush Limbaugh pulls no punches on this. Take a look at this. All right.
Purely political, and the entire Washington, D.C. political spectrum understands now. They're not delaying the implementation because it isn't ready. They're not delaying it to help anybody except themselves. They're not delaying the implementation because they're having trouble getting it right, because they're never going to get it right. It's never going to do what it was advertised to do. It is a punitive piece of legislation. The administration will let employers with 50 to 99 employees off the hook in 2015. I mean, that right there. The regime will let, in their magnificent munificence, they will let employers off the hook. And so to be in compliance with this law is damaging and harmful. And so we're going to let them off the hook. They'll be required to report on how many workers are covered, but they will have until 2016, after the next two elections, before they face a penalty for failing to cover employees. The regime knows full well that if they don't delay the implementation of this thing, the party, the Democrat Party, is dead.
Right on. Could Obamacare be the end of the Democratic Party? we had in 2010 the all of the Democrats put this thing together, right? Okay. In both houses of Congress. Okay, mind you, back then, the Democrats controlled both houses of Congress. That's right. Okay. And they put this thing together, all right, and they had this brilliant idea to, put health care for all, right? But they had no Republican votes on this. All right, mind you. Okay, they didn't think this through, right? Okay, and over 6 million Americans lost their health care because of Obamacare. All right? 6 million. And they can't even get the numbers straight over who has enrolled yet. All right? You know, mind you, people have put plans in the cart, but that doesn't mean they purchased it. Okay? And mind you, the whole implementation of the thing is run by the IRS, right? Our tax dollars. And they spent $600 billion to put together the website that didn't even work. And now, here Obama makes another delay. Another delay. Oh my goodness. This is just almost as if they're admitting defeat. It is. Okay, they're admitting defeat. All right, because now as the 2014 midterm elections are on, and you have all these Democrats and Republicans now running for re-election and stuff like that. But now Obamacare is the biggest disaster in history. All right, and it's gonna ruin the Democratic Party. So now, what are the Democrats doing to stop that from happening? Okay, what is their big plan? What, pray tell, are they doing to try to get the focus off Obamacare? Oh, my friends, my fellow Americans. Oh, this is even too priceless. Okay, you know what they're doing to try to take the focus off the Obamacare? They're trying to detract from Obamacare now and put the focus on get this global climate change. Yeah, that's right. Global climate change. Oh my goodness. Didn't they learn? They just haven't learned yet. I don't think they have. They haven't learned yet. They're trying to change the focus now from Obamacare, because now that Obamacare is a big pain in the president's side now. Okay, he keeps on another delay after another delay. You know, first it was, okay, we're gonna delay for the big businesses, all right, but nobody else. Okay, and then it was the delay for the small businesses, all right. Okay, but nobody else, all right, and then it was the waiver for his political friends, and you know, on Obamacare, and then now he has it for this, you know. It, mind you, I think this also stems. We mentioned this last week, that this also stems from Obama has gotten sued over Obamacare. All right, he's gotten sued. A few organizations have sued him over stuff like the contraception mandate and stuff like that. All right, and you know, Hobby Lobby is one of them. Okay, and also the Little Sisters of the Poor, okay, sued Obama over that too. So and they won. The Little Sisters of the Poor won. All right, this my friends is unfolding drastically for the Democrats. Okay, and now we have a situation here that I want to maintain the focus here, because you know, Obamacare is we as Republicans, we need to keep the focus on Obamacare, okay, because this is just a disastrous law. It shouldn't have been passed in the first place. All right. I mean, in the meantime, you've had Democrats saying that we are the you've had liberals saying, oh, we are the only industrialized nation that doesn't have nationalized health care. All right. And you know, and yeah, note to the liberals out there. All right. Hello, we are the only industrialized nation that can't even get our healthcare functioning. Oh, actually, that's not true, because the other industrialized nations are having problems with their healthcare. Okay. Because there's long lines in Canada and there's long lines in Europe. Okay. A single payer just doesn't work. Okay, just take a look at what happened to the actress Natasha Richardson when she was on a ski trip in Canada. She died on her way to the hospital. All right. So, but this Obamacare is not working. It's not functioning. Meanwhile, the CBO comes out and says that Obamacare is a job killer. That's right. Obamacare is a job killer. Right? And Obama just doesn't see it. All right? And yeah, the CBO came out and said Obamacare is a job killer. Plus, Obamacare creates disincentive to work. Okay? And in fact, it said that that people who get free health care can live off the subsidies. You know, they don't have to work. But it's ridiculous. All right, this is why the unemployment rate is, well, the unemployment rate has gotten lower, but that's only because the labor participation rate is really high. All right. Obama's policies have not created any type of incentive for people to work in this country. All right. And this, my friends, we need to deal with Obama's power grab. Okay. Obama's power grab, right? We're gonna deal with that, okay? Because Obama just doesn't get it, all right? He thinks he can bypass Congress on everything, all right? And here now, he's not trying to be president. He's trying to be king. And didn't our forefathers write the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution to get away from kings? The latest, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Right? What this president thinks he can do is just ridiculous. It's not working out, all right? Mind you, okay, last week also, okay, I also wanted to get into a lot of other things, all right? Now, but before you call in, all right, I'm not ready. Hold off on the calls right now. Hold off. All right, I'm not ready for calls just yet, all right? Because I want to speak about some other things that have arisen in the news, all right? Have arisen in the news. That's right, okay? Namely Afghanistan, and I'm going to put some of this stuff that I'm going to talk about. Okay, I'm going to put some of this stuff in the Political Point magazine's Political Point of Vision. All right, so now, but I want to cover some things that have come up in the news lately. All right, mainly Afghanistan now has been stirring up trouble for the U.S. That's right. Okay, Afghanistan now. President Hamid Karzai. Okay, there's going to be Afghan elections now in April. All right, Hamid Karzai is not the most popular president there. Okay, in fact, he recently released some Afghan Taliban prisoners, and it's quite interesting. And he's now attacking or criticizing the U.S. For their policies. Mind you, our foreign policy has not been the best with that country. All right. Under Obama, he's getting buddy with the Taliban, but Hamid Karzai is not really friends with the American president here. All right. I mean, it's just there's no real way to explain it. I mean, this, my friends, is just unprecedented, and Hamid Karzai's done. Okay, he's done. There's no way to describe it. If you take into consideration that Hamid Karzai has now his days are numbered there. All right, he's not the most popular president, and he's not liking the U.S. In fact, Obama, according to former Defense Secretary Robert Gates, doesn't like or trust the Afghan president, Hamid Karzai. All right, and this, my friends, and now the Taliban is we're gonna move out. Okay, we're gonna move out of Iraq at the end of Afghanistan at the end of 2014, right? Okay, but okay, here's what last week. Here's what Senator Lindsey Graham said about Afghanistan. All right, last week. All right, take a look at this. All right.
Resolution condemning this action by President Karzai. I will be urging my colleagues to cut all developmental aid off to Afghanistan as a response until after the next election.
Karzai.
Yep. See, but Karzai is stirring up trouble for the U.S. and it's not looking good. All right. Now, so that my friends, we now see the mixed turn of events. All right, that have been coming under play. All right. Okay. But now I wanted to get into some more things. All right. under this. Okay. But let's get into some other things. Okay. Like I talked about that study. Okay. That last week. All right. I talked about that study. And this is what I wanted to show you here. All right. This study that was in the Herald Examiner. All right. We talked a little bit about that, and President Obama spoke about income inequality, right? And but failed to recognize that that his policies have actually done more to increase and widen the gap between the rich and the poor than any of his predecessors. All right. So what we discovered in this study that was mentioned in this study was actually printed in the Investor's Business Daily. Okay. And but it's a study that found that certain factors. This is what they found. What the factors were. What factors were the strongest predictors of upward mobility in multiple variable regressions. All right. Now, family structure was the first one. Okay. Where they said that poor kids do better with when they're raised in two-parent families, family structure. Okay. Also, okay. Okay. What makes this finding particularly significant is that this is the first major study showing the rates of single parenthood at the community level and linked to children's economic opportunities over the course of their lives. All right. Okay. Now, racial and economic segregation was the second factor, predictor. Okay. And the study said economic and racial segregation are also important characteristics of communities that do not foster economic mobility. Okay, children growing up in communities that are racially segregated or cluster lots of poor kids together do not have a great shot at the American dream. Okay. Now, mind you, the President Obama kept on saying that the American dream is being threatened by income inequality, right? Okay. Now, the third predictor, the third factor that they found in this study was school quality. All right. In other words, the quality of the schools. Okay. So if another powerful predictor was is the quality of schools in the communities. All right. Poor kids are more likely to make it in America when they have access to schools that do a good job of educating them. All right. Yep. So they also pointed out in this study that private schools do better than public schools as far as jumping up the success ladder. All right. Social capital was another one that they mentioned. Okay, and in a finding that is that in the finding, okay, they found that that communities with more social capital enjoy significantly higher levels of absolute mobility for poor children. All right, that is communities across America that have high levels of religiosity, civic engagement, and voter involvement are more likely to lift the fortunes of their poorest members. Right? That's what they. Whoa, hold up a second. How the heck did that happen? Okay. Anyhow, okay. So, and then the fifth one was income inequality itself. Okay. Now, the measure. Okay. Now, on this. Okay. Now on this, it's been like 50 years now. Okay. Now, Obama is attacking income inequality, but it's been over 50 years now since Lyndon Baines Johnson unleashed the war on poverty. Okay. So 50 years now, all right, have passed since President Lyndon Baines Johnson unconditionally or put out his war on poverty. All right. More recently, President Obama has declared the new war on income inequality. Okay. This is a shift. This shift focus is what is somewhat misguided. Okay, with 47 million people, 47 million individuals still living in poverty, the first war is far from over. Okay, now, defining income inequality as the biggest challenge of our time further detracts attention from the poor, since a change in income distribution across all households says little about how people are faring in absolute terms at the bottom of the distribution. Okay. Now, the fundamental challenge facing this generation is the same one that faced President Lyndon Baines Johnson. The fundamental issue is not income inequality. It's about poverty. All right. It's about poverty. Okay. And the numbers. Okay. Now, in a recent December 2013 report, the Congressional Budget Office, okay, and I'm reading this to you, all right. The Congressional Budget Office divided all U.S. households into 5 groups of equal size quintiles, okay, on the basis of their before tax income. All right. The CBO definition of before tax includes government transfers to these households. Okay. As per this report, in 2010, households in the lowest quintile, bottom 20%, received 5.1% of all before tax income. All right. Or about $24,100 per household. Those in the middle fifth received 14.2%, or $65,400 per household. Households in the top quintile received 51.9%, or about $239,100 per household. Okay. Now, in other words, households in the top quintile, income quintile, received an income share that was 10 times that for the lower income quintiles. The corresponding numbers for after-tax income are 6.2% for the bottom quintile, 15.4% for the middle quintile, and 48.1% for the top quintile. Okay? So, now, they go on to say trends since 1979 suggest that households at the very top of the income distribution have increased after-tax incomes at a much faster pace than households at the bottom. Okay, the much cited paper by economist Thomas Piketty and Emmanuel Sees confirms this trend, though it fails to account for taxes and transfers. Okay, other economists, however, counter these results by using a different definition of income. In a 2013 paper, Richard Berkshire and colleagues contend that using a broader measure of income that includes acquired capital gains, income inequality has narrowed between 1989 and 2007. All right. Now, another issue at hand here, before I get to the phones here. All right. Another issue at hand here in this study was raising the minimum wage. Okay, so we've established in this study that raising taxes doesn't work, doesn't help to narrow the gap between the rich and the poor. Okay, so also in this study, raising the minimum wage does not work. Okay, so Obama called for another round of minimum wage hikes. Okay, by raising the minimum wage, but raising the minimum wage hasn't reduced inequality in the past. Okay, now the minimum wage has been raised once under Clinton, who raised taxes, and once under Bush, who cut taxes. Okay, now it says here in 2007 a 2007 law boosted the federal minimum wage over 3 years to $7.25 an hour. Okay, a 41% increase, while inflation has climbed just 12% since that year. Yet inequality was much higher in 2012 than it was in 2007. The federal minimum wage climbed 21% under Clinton, years during which inequality also climbed. Okay, so Clinton raised taxes, Obama raised taxes. Okay, so let me make this ultimately clear. Raising the minimum wage, okay, it said here raising the minimum wage is a particularly bad idea when we think of high youth and teenage unemployment rates. Okay, workers under age 25 make up half of those federal minimum wage lessons. So, okay, all right. So we're gonna take a call. All right. Hello, you're on the air. What's on your political mind?
Yes, Will. You better get your checkbook out for the IRS and add a couple zeros. According to 60 Minutes yesterday, they already have a proposed $3.75 billion proposed to build fighter jet planes for the year 216 to 220. That's no matter who's president. So that's also a expenditure to the taxpayers before even an elected president comes to power. Another thing I did want to remind you today of was people are commemorating World War II, and you got to remember World War II was 1941 through 45. 10 years after that was the Vietnam War.
You know what, though?
1950.
This is President's Day. We're not supposed to be commemorating a war.
But also, right after that, it was 1960 at that point. So what I'm telling you, what my conclusion is we've been through all this hell, and the living people of today, and now they want to build more Air Force weaponry that isn't for safety or the health of life of humanity. It's only the tip of the iceberg of getting better. I did want to tell you the Obamacare, also on 60 Minutes. Doctors used the Medicare insurance to over purposely 20% of their patients bill. They're going to gain even higher. So that's like passing the doctor a credit card to do more damage, and the taxes come out of the people. And you as well as I know that all the corporations want to go tax exempt now, you know. And since World War II, that was Hitler.
Hitler was a
less than
bad
17
man.
Years after Hitler.
Hitler was a bad man.
10 years after Hitler was 4th century Vietnam.
Is
So
it?
that's what Grandma and Grandpa and everybody existing today went through. And now the foreign policy, I think the globe better grow up. I mean, it's certain. You had during Hitler's time, 1 billion people dead, declared dead. You had during Vietnam War 58,000 soldiers, 2 million Vietnam killed. Let alone you come to the grips of Afghanistan, you come to the grips of the Taliban's killed. Where's the globe going besides a decreased population?
Okay, you're
and who's
rambling
going to
now.
pay for all this? And I want to come back to your Herald American. You are correct. They say 24 grand or under, the mass majority that are working, and the 18 to 35-year-olds don't have. I found out this. Remember, we were talking about the Peace Corps. It's not offered in New York State, let alone coast to coast in every town and country. And Barack's thinking that, you know, he's going to put off the insurance. Well, why didn't he just give everybody a Medicaid card?
You know what? On that, I was thinking, you know, if Obama's going to keep putting in delays to Obamacare,
It's not going to work when you don't have the money, and the taxes are going to go up, and they're not going to pay taxes.
let me finish my point here, okay?
Go ahead.
If Obama's going to continue to put these delays in, right? Okay, then he should
Nobody
just
has the money yet.
he should just put in a delay for everybody, not just a selected group. Everybody. He should just delay it for
exactly.
everybody.
Give everybody it, but don't take it out and make us pay for this after paying more and going without now.
Yeah, it's pathetic. I thank you for your call.
Yeah. You do see that the Holocaust was only, and the Vietnam War was like 17 years before 1960 in our lifetime.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And this is everybody alive going through this. The globe and the people have yet to begun to live a globes. And not only America, abroad. And mark my words, you now have a $3.75 billion debt for the year 2016 through 20 for the military defense that isn't building safety, medical, life, helicopters, and they'll be billing us taxpayers coming up,
Okay.
no matter who's elected.
All right. Well, we thank you for your call.
Thank you.
I need to move on. All right. Now, before I take another call, though, all right, I want to get into something a little bit different. Today marks the 5-year anniversary of President Obama's stimulus package, right? You remember that thing that was supposed to create jobs, in this country. Okay, but yet shortly after the stimulus package, the stimulus bill was passed, and again this was through mostly Democrats. Okay, and the both houses of Congress were in control of that. Were in control by the Democrats. Okay, at the time. Okay, of the stimulus package. So February 17th, 2009. Okay, they passed the stimulus bill. Right? It was supposed to create jobs. It ended up killing jobs. And then again, what happened was the writing was obviously on the wall too. All right, because I want to show you this. All right, okay, mind you, in 2009, okay, the Democrats, what they did was they put a bunch of pork barrel projects in the bill. All right, let me show you. This is what happened here. Okay. Now, in the 2009 stimulus bill, all right, they had, okay, $30,000 in California to tear down trees that burned in a fire in 1973. All right. Then they had $1 million in the bill in Ohio to build a fence on a bridge to stop people from jumping off the fence or jumping off the bridge. Okay. Then they had $800,000 in there for catfish genome research in Alabama. All right. Then they had $300 million for improvements to a state-run liquor warehouse in Montana. Then they had and this one got me too. All right. They sent a $250 check to a woman who has been dead for over 30 years. And then $2.5 million in New Hampshire to rebuild an airport ramp. All right. And then there was $2.5 million for potato research. And then another $7 million for the Robert C. Byrd Institution. Yep. So they put all this pork in the bill, which had nothing to do with the economy or growing jobs or anything like that. All right. That's basically what happened there. All right. So the 17th of February, which is today, all right, marks the 5-year anniversary of the stimulus package that didn't work. Okay. It didn't stimulate the economy. We've had a sluggish economic growth. It's quite snailish. All right. Mind you, the unemployment rate is lower than it was, but after that we lost like 6 million jobs. Or not, actually, no, we lost 9 million jobs in President Obama's first term. All right, because of that. All right, so my friends, okay, so I got that off my chest, and now it's time to take some more calls. All right, so 272-3835 is the number. All right, okay, and while I'm waiting for calls here. Okay, might as well get into some other things that I discovered in this study here. All right, so while I'm waiting for calls here, okay, but in this study, all right, you see that chart up there, okay? We mentioned that last week, okay, but it says income gap soars under Obama, okay, and this is what we discovered. Okay, Obama wanted to raise the minimum wage, right? And also he raised taxes more than tenfold. Okay, now, but this thing says raising the minimum wage is a particularly bad idea when you think of high youth and teenage unemployment rates. Okay. workers under the age of 25 make up half of those paid the federal minimum wage or less. Instead, research suggests that internship and apprenticeship programs may improve employment prospects. All right. And also boost college attendance. Okay. Minimum wages are also not a tool to fight poverty. Okay. By some estimates, less than 25% of minimum wage workers live at or below the poverty level line. Okay, based on family cash income. An alternative to the minimum wage is earned income tax credit. That's right. Okay? The EITC arguably is one of the federal government's most efficient means of encouraging work and fighting poverty. Okay, as per the Census Bureau, the earned income tax credit lifted 5.4 million people above the poverty line in 2010. While the earned income tax credit has some disadvantages, such as the significant tax penalties on earners in the phase-out range, it has been shown to encourage labor force participation rates for single mothers and has lifted millions of adults and children out of poverty. This, my friends, is quite an interesting fact. Okay, now the other thing that this thing mentions, okay, is that that Obama has expanded the welfare state dramatically. All right, Obama has expanded the welfare state dramatically, and his solution to the problem is just throw money at the situation, give people subsidies and stuff like that. Okay, but as we mentioned before, the CBO creates disincentive for people to work. Okay, and it just creates this lazy mentality. So what we suggest is that that if Obama wants to increase or expand the unemployment benefits, right? But that doesn't do any good if it doesn't encourage people to work. If at the end of that period that you're still unemployed, all right? That it doesn't help. Expanding the unemployment benefits, what needs to be done is you need to put incentive into that. Okay, you need to, in other words, have employment training programs in that, so the people on unemployment can find work. Okay, that's what we need to do. Okay, and also, okay, I've been thinking about this a long time. Okay, President Obama raised taxes, right? Okay, more than tenfold. Okay, and as you have seen from the chart here, okay, that the income inequality gap increased under President Obama, right? Right there. Okay, as you see from this chart. Okay, so the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer because of Obama's policies. All right, so he wants to increase the minimum wage, right? He's already increased taxes, right? But we've established that raising taxes doesn't work. So raising the minimum wage along with the taxes won't work either. All right, it's counterproductive. All right, see, this is how I see it. Okay, we have an income system. Like, you have a job, all right, there's income that the federal government is interested in, and that's your gross income. They're not interested in your net, okay? Your gross income. Like if you work a job, if you're getting paid $8 an hour, and you work a job for 8 hours a day, that's 40 hours a week, right? Okay? So 40 hours a week, okay? You would get a check of over $320, okay? That's gross, okay? That's gross, over $300, okay? Now, the federal government wants some of that money, or a lot of that money. So the federal and state governments tax you, okay? So they take a portion of that. Plus, there's other taxes in there that they're taking from you. Okay, there's FICA, there's Social Security, there's disability taxes, there's all sorts of other taxes in there, and if you have health insurance through your work, some of your money in your check is paying for that. Okay, so this okay, so you have that gross pay of over $300, but after all the taxes are taken out, it's down to $200. Okay, so then if you raise the minimum wage and raise taxes, it's not going to do any good. Okay, it's not going to do any good. All right, because you'll still end up with your gross as 300, but your net is still going to be 200. Okay, after all those taxes. All right. So raising the minimum wage is not working. Raising the minimum wage doesn't work. It's been raised under Clinton and it's been raised under Bush, but it didn't work. Okay? It didn't work. Although we were living better under Bush. All right? we still, it's still, this is the, I don't get Democrats. Okay, Democrats, they're just ruining the country. Okay, they're just ruining the country. If you want to level the playing field, all right, I suggest you need to even the playing field. Okay, you need to even it out. President Ronald Reagan changed the tax code entirely and made it better for the American people. Okay, I suggest a flat tax, the fair tax. All right. Everybody pays the same. Hello, you're on the air. What's on your political mind? Hello? Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, I would like to encourage your listeners to vote.
Oh, no. Thank you. All right. No. But anyhow, as I was saying, okay, you need to even the playing field. Okay? I've been shooting for this for a long time. All right? We need the fair tax, the flat tax. Eliminate all of the taxes and just instate the fair tax. Okay? A flat rate. Okay? Everybody pays the same. It's a national sales tax. Okay? You don't pay taxes until you buy something. It's the fair tax. It would solve our problems dramatically. Okay? People would have more money in their pockets. The fair tax. That's what I am suggesting here. All right? Okay? And while I'm waiting for another call, I mentioned before that the Democrats are detracting the focus, right? They're they're trying to point the direction at global climate change now. Yeah. Like that's going to save their careers. Okay? But they obviously haven't heard the news. All right? Okay? You remember ClimateGate? Okay? First off, global warming doesn't exist. All right? But this is what we discovered, okay? ClimateGate. That's right. Okay? ClimateGate. On November 17th, 2009, a server was was breached. Over 60 megabytes of data were obtained. That included 1,000 emails, 3,000 other documents at the University of East Anglia. Okay, these emails were circulated. All right, and the contents revealed that global warming was a scientific conspiracy in which scientists manipulated climate data and attacked their suppressors and tried to use it to suppress their critics. Yep. So global warming does not exist. That's right. Okay, global warming does not exist. Okay, it's all manipulated data. It's a false science. All right. Okay, and let me show you this pool. Okay. All right. We now know that President Obama's approval rating is at its lowest level yet, right? Okay. It's like 38%, right? Like that. All right. But there's also a Wall Street Journal NBC poll that asked about what are we better off or worse off than when President Obama took office. All right. And take a look at this. All right. Okay, this Wall Street Journal NBC News poll. Okay, like that. Okay. 31% say better off, 39% say worse off, and 29% say the same. All right. But that is, but it's just ridiculous. That is the last words of the night, my friends. We thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. All right? Yes. All right. So, but that's the show for tonight. Okay? I didn't get into a lot of other things. But follow me on Twitter at WilliamMetro2. And also, you can catch us on YouTube. All right? Yeah. But thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history.